I read the very first Fantastic Four issue. Does it hold up still? Let's get into it. First, let's talk about how the team was formed.
Reed Richards is a scientist. He has a girlfriend. She has a younger brother, and he has his best friend Ben. And they all decide to go for a joyride in a space rocket, which happens to other people. This has never happened to me. There has never been an instance in my life where someone has offered to take me for a ride in a spaceship. Maybe because I don't look like Katy Perry. That's a distinct possibility. But I just it's just so funny being able to steal a spaceship. It's not like security is overwhelming. Basically, they just walk right in, grab a spaceship, and go. Reed says that he worked on the spaceship. Yes, that doesn't mean you get to take the spaceship. Really, he should be charged with something when they come back down. He should be in jail for a very, very long time. This is the first Marvel family of crime. So they go off into space where they are bombarded with space rays. That's a sentence to say when you're Swedish. So they go off into space where they are bombarded with space rays. Not spice rays, but space rays. It sounds weirder the more I say it. Space rays, space rays, space rays. Anyway, they are bombarded with beams. Johnny catches fire, Sue becomes invisible, Ben turns into stone, and Reed becomes plastic. And this is where the hubris of it comes in, because this took me kind of a little bit by surprise. Sue says that she's like invisible woman. Johnny is the torch. Ben has such bad self-esteem that he just calls himself the Thing. I really feel for him. Well, I feel for him and I don't, because he's being jealous of his best friend's girlfriend and wants to get in a relationship with her, and he picks a fight with his best friend, which the authorities should be doing. He should be in jail, like I said. So I have sympathy for Ben. He changes into this rocky, gravelly thing, and he names himself the Thing. He could have picked anything, Stone Man or whatever he wants really, but he immediately goes to the Thing, and I think that's what makes him my favorite character right now. But Reed Richards, giving the naming conventions of the others, he should be Mr. Rubber Man or the stretchy thingy man. But he goes for Mr. Fantastic. I feel like this is a test of a true hero or a true villain. How you decide on your name. Invisible Girl or Invisible Woman, clearly someone who belongs on the good side. The Torch, yeah, probably good side. The Thing, yeah, that's very neutral. I feel like Reed Richards could just as well have been a villain instead of a hero, given the levels of confidence that he has in himself. Maybe it's healthy. Maybe it's a sound thing to have that kind of self-confidence.
And now that we know the backstory, here's our villain. Look at this green big monster here. Mole Man was able to defeat him. I'm not sure if it was in single combat or if it was a spelling bee or whatever it was, but Mole Man was able to somehow beat him and become the monster leader. I don't usually attract women with my looks. With my looks, I attract men that want to talk about IPA. And if I shave my beard, I look like a lesbian librarian. And then I attract men that want to talk about IPA. The same thing seems to be true for Fantastic Four's first villain, the Mole Man. In fact, he's so horrendously ugly that he's shunned by the entire society. He can't find a job. No women are attracted in him. He can't find any friends. So eventually he falls into a hole in the ground and becomes an evil mastermind. This is not how you are treated if you are ugly in today's society. If you are ugly in today's society, you don't have to become a criminal mastermind. You can become a president and a criminal mastermind. The two of them aren't mutually exclusive like they used to be. And this is basically the background for the Mole Man. It's just he was so ugly that he decided to wage a war against humanity and started to steal atomic plants, like you do. And there's so much that doesn't make sense about the Mole Man or his motivations, because he's on Monster Island when he falls into a hole in the ground, falls into the Valley of Diamonds and seems to lose most of his sight, which is possibly what makes him a mole. Yet somehow this man, who has no form of special skills, there's nothing peculiar or interesting about him because besides that he has poor eyesight, which isn't so much a superpower, it's just what we do when you're middle-aged. This man somehow becomes the master of a set of monsters that live beneath the Earth's surface on the aptly named Monster Island. And now he wants to steal atomic plants around the world. Never mind that he's fallen into the Valley of Diamonds, which is just like Monster Island is full of monsters. The Valley of Diamonds is filled with diamonds. It would be a whole lot easier to get a load of diamonds, get back to the surface, and just get on with your life. I've heard that people usually don't mind you as much if you have a Valley of Diamonds close by. So this is the very first villain presented in the Fantastic Four issue number 1. And it makes no sense whatsoever for him to be a villain. And honestly, in the Fantastic Four's Rogues Gallery, he must be ranking pretty low. So no, the Fantastic Four is not a very good first issue. At least not by today's standards. And I'm not sure it's a good issue even by that time's standards. The pacing is way off. The characters are extremely talkative. Their motivation doesn't make that much sense. If I'm being honest, Fantastic Four issue number 1, it's not that great. It's not. I wouldn't recommend it as a way into the comics, to be honest. I would say the best part about the Fantastic Four first issue is the art. Jack Kirby is doing a much better job of it than Stan Lee is doing. What are your thoughts on the first issue of the Fantastic Four? Have you read it? Where do you stand on it? I would give it a 3 out of 5, but that's mostly sentimental value. Honestly, probably a 2 out of 5 if we were to rate it, but an extra star just for being the very first issue. But in the very next episode, we are taking a look at one of the most amazing characters and backstories that Marvel have ever created. Until then.